Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back once again to some more Kerbal Space Program. So, we've taken a new mission, and this is almost going to be a sort of bit of a miniature for our big goal for the series now, as I sometimes remind everyone. Our big goal for the series is to go out to Eeloo and put a surface colony on it. We are going to do something a little bit similar today on Minmus. Now, I am thinking, much as it might be better to save up just like 8 more science to get a 550 science, we're actually going to take hydroponics because, to me, A, it's a science experiment, so we'll be able to use that for, well, science. And B, it is also a source of food, and we don't have life support mods on. We don't need to actually worry about it, but it feels very fitting to give the colony at least some like life support capability. But yes, what we're going to do with this, we're going to do what we did on our previous mission, where we also set up a bit of a surface base, but it will also be a bit more permanent. The colony with it will be more permanent. It will have its own lab, among other things. And we'll try and kit it out with every science equipment so this can make a science in the background of our other missions. Interestingly enough, I have noticed that the wharf holds 4 crew, which would already be at our nearly at our required minimum, especially by the time we include a lab. Or we could even do that one that actually just straight up does have 5 crew on board. I think our first thing should be a lab, though. We'll actually start with that as the core of our thing. There's a 4-man lab, which is interesting. Actually, is it a lab? Science lab. Ah, yes, it is. Certain amount of payload rep. And includes a telescope. Oh, it does. Open doors? Okay, it's going to be the wrong way up if we do it like that, but okay. Now, what we'll do, we'll have a cupola, and we'll actually use that as the core of our base. So we have a 4-man lab, which is actually quite big. That's just the top and bottom, okay. And then we'll have the living space on top. We'll paint it to match. We'll go white for this one rather than the normal bare metal. Bit of difference. Let's see. We're going to also need some experiments. Oh, they're giving us these racks to mount science experiments on, but they're not. Oh, there they are. I thought it looked like it wasn't actually going to go on flat. But oh well. Talking out of my backside, it is fine. So we have our science junior. What is that? That's another lab. We will want hydroponics. In fact, we'll put those in the neck between the oh dear, sorry, sniffle, in between the top and bottom. I think these are black, aren't they? Yeah, okay. So close the doors for now. And we'll start fitting some other science experiments to the exterior. That's what will make use of all these nice panels they've given us. We can do the atmospheric scatter, since we know... Does that need an atmosphere? I think it did still work even outside of the atmosphere, so we'll have one of those. I think it just, even if it just gave us the generic, hey, there isn't one here. Reading, that was still fine. Have a magnometer. I don't know if it'll be able to work on the surface, but we'll have one anyway. It looks cool. Phase gas analyzer. I don't know if it's actually science, but it'll let us scan the surface a little bit more. Kerbals will, of course, be able to get out and we'll have a surface scanner as well. Like a surface resource scanner. Kerbals will, of course, be able to just sort of simply get out of the craft and grab some ground samples as well, if needed. Which they will probably do. Because we're going to need that science data. Right, I believe that's everything. I think that, yeah, it's an orbital scanner. Right. Is there cargo space on board this lab? No. We will also need some cargo space, and ideally I would like it near the ground. In fact, what we could do... Will you put that vertically? Sort of can, but it doesn't quite work how I planned. We drag this up. And maybe across so the window's on the right side, perhaps, you know? Or the door's on the right side to actually be able to open it. Go. How much space do those give us? 3. Not enough. Okay. No, we're going to need something a bit bigger than that. Ideally, I would have liked it at the bottom, where we could definitely reach it, but I suppose we have to jump up and down a bit, that's fine. Actually, no, that's not great, because Maybe we could use these. Yeah, actually, now I think about it, it's not great to be having to jump up because it's minimus gravity, and we can't, while we're jumping up and down, use our jetpack because we'll have had to stash it away. That might be okay with 4 of those even. Yeah. Oh, there should be... Do we have an SC designation yet? Because if not, we'll designate this as Space Colony. I have Station, yeah, so we'll do SC 001 Min Home. Or Mini Home, even. Oh, yeah, Mini Home sounds good. So we'll need to load these up with the ground stations that we want. It's going to be most of them. We'll also check the level of our engineer because we might not need as many... what do you call them? Might not need as many solar panels. We'll also set the solar panels up first this time. So we had some weirdness with that last time. Right, so... We're going to bring, I think... We're going to have the... although we'll need an extra scientist. We'll need Bob as well. We're going to have the Space Jank crew come with us for this. I think they are long overdue their own large-scale mission. So we'll have them come with. We'll take Bob as well because we need another scientist. We probably, after this mission, we'll have to upgrade the astronaut center and hire some newbies or even run another space camp. Because we are running a little short on crew, what with some of them off on the station as well. So, the other thing I'm going to be doing for today's batch of recordings, at the very least, is I'm going to be cutting these to actually 30-minute episodes, so we might have some multi-parters. Basically, because YouTube really prefers it, and by prefers it I mean it's absolutely biased towards creators who keep up a daily schedule, and will start to like tank recordings after that point. So try to keep up with this. Okay, we'll fit the size monitor in there. That's a pain that we can't even fit the full setup in there. Weather analyzer we don't need. Sneeze, I'm trying to do not down the mic. We'll have the goo monitor. Okay. Communications dish. Solar panel. Our engineer's level 2. So they'll be providing 3 power each. 1, 2, 3, 5. We'll add a third one just in case. Or a spare, I guess you could call it. Oh, we could also... We could bring a ground anchor. Actually bolt this... No, it's too big. I was going to say we could bring a ground anchor and actually bolt this thing to the floor. It should be okay. Right, we'll also bring... Learning from past mistakes. Repair kits. And we will leave a little bit of space for storing away equipment. Actually, yeah, no, we could leave it in there because they can take one of those out and swap it out. So we'll bring a EVA science kit as well. Well, that's the ground stations added. Next, we need some of the basics. We need power. We need a antenna to talk to base. We're probably going to want a bit more power in this one than we've been using so far. So I'm thinking 2 Gigantas. By using so far, I mean apart from that one thing with the asteroid eater, of course, the rock eater. They're just in the way. Doesn't look right. Just about they would stop that rotating. That's fine now. We will mount them out on a little bit of a frame. We do, of course, have these nice pre-packed habitats that we could use. But I think I'll probably just try and build our own. Nice as some of those are. Right. A small radial attachment point. Yep. We could put them here, actually, and they'll be even better. Oh, that's the wrong way. That way. So roughly centrally mount those to that. You go near the top and you got angle snap on. You can kind of get it to lock in the middle, and then you can just use the move tool to drag it down to, I guess, there, because that's about as close as we can get before we stop being able to rotate properly. There we go. I'm okay with that. That doesn't look like it'll catch, so... You're going to have to move, though, because I just realised you will. Tell you what, we'll put that just there. That's fine. Right. I suppose it's meant to extend it. I suppose it's technically meant to extend away from the craft. Alright, we better do this properly. Right, there. We have power. We have now got to do landing. We do need to bring this thing down. So, it is only minimus, so we don't need a lot. But we will need... But it is a big craft, so we'll need some landing capabilities. Right. Ideally, we would have a very wide, flat tank. What we could potentially do is sort of make our own. Here you go, 2 6-way symmetries. There you go. A nice banded tank. David, that's the right word for it, but what I'm going to call it. Oh, the orbital maneuvering cluster would be good, actually. Can we set these to carry monoprop? No. Okay, maybe not. No, that's one that I think does burn monoprop, or is it? No, LFO. Really? Oh yeah, I was going to say. Oh, that's a different engine. What was the one I was looking at? Oh, those. Yeah, okay, those are monopropellant. I was going to say something weird there. We do need low-profile engines, whatever it is we go for. I guess we could... Oh, I guess we could put some terriers around the outside, even. Maybe in a way that doesn't look like they're clipping. Or some pugs, perhaps. No, okay, we definitely don't want the nozzle clipping into the fuel tanks. That is a recipe for something exploding. Oh, what do we have landing leg-wise as well? That's the other thing we have to consider. Oh, we do have the bigger ones. Okay. This thing is there. It's clipping into the telescope. Although I guess that looks alright. It's not too bad. Oh no, it's going to look terrible when they're folded up. So I try to get the aesthetics to look fairly nice on my crafts. Or at least look like they'd work. I don't like that half covering the window, but I suppose... Oh, I suppose if I just go like that, there we go. Look okay on all sides. It's sort of in the middle of that. There. Oh! Because we're on too high symmetry, that's why. Okay, it's still in the way. No, we definitely can't have it there, actually, because that's blocking the airlock. Yeah, we just straight up cannot have it there. What we can do is... once the girders, might even have them there. So that about there, and then that there. Now if I retract them, yeah, that looks alright. Okay. Now we just need our engines. I've also heard the sparks are supposed to be quite good recently. I've heard they're supposed to be quite good thrust to weight. Yeah, okay. Anonymous. Ooh. Thrust to weight of 10. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. Assuming these aren't going to be in the way. Nope. Might also change the mounting for those. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that will do our landing. Oh, electrical storage. I knew there was something, and the antenna. Right. For storage. We are not going to make the same mistake as we did last time and not have enough power to actually transmit our data. Especially considering this will need to transmit a lot more data. And communications. That's not communications. That is communications. Right. I guess we could do quite a big antenna and have it deploy off the side, I suppose. This the one we've been, that's the one we've been using on the relays. That would do it. It would be kind of interesting to have one that could talk all the way in with Kerbin, I suppose. Without any external help. I guess if we did a try feed there and then do run the path. Yeah, that would technically work. Oh. That doesn't look so good. Again, like I say, try to go for a bit of aesthetics. I guess we'll just do a fixed antenna somewhere. Ideally an Omni. Because most of the long range ones are not Omni. But then again, I suppose we don't need to go that far. Considering we're still in Kerbal system. Yeah, we'll go for a... Yeah, we'll go for one of those. That'll be fine. Considering we've got satellites around the place, that should be fine to communicate. If it's not, we'll build it a specific relay just specifically for it, because we're going to need it. Oh, we do need to check if... viewing cupola, check. Spawning 5 Kerbals, check. Instability, yeah, okay. We've got everything it actually needs. So, let's get this thing to Minmus somehow. Probably going to want about 5k delta V underneath this, I'd imagine. Something like that. That's probably probably fine. Or a little bit, and they might clip into those engines. So tell you what, let's put those. Was it 6? Yeah, I think it was. Not that it matters so much, they'd still have the thruster weight. But for the sake of burn time not being too high, and again causing all the landing problems. Right, I think if we do a 3.75, yeah, it's actually small. I think this is just going to look a bit awkward, this rocket. I don't think there's any way around it. We do not have air shells big enough to put the thing in it. Right. Unless those are. No, it's just empty trusses. They're not big enough. Right. So, we will probably want a small transfer stage. Well, maybe that's not a small transfer stage, but a transfer stage. The Rhino. Switch back to Kerbin, because that's where we're going to be taking off from. That'll do for the upper stage. Just build it one big lower stage. We're also going to strap that together because it's, again, a little unwieldy. This is a bit, this is going to be proof that while you should follow aerodynamics, and while things that look like a rocket will usually perform better, sometimes you have to launch something a bit janky in Kerbal, and make the best you can of it. Right, where's our big decoupler? Check. I don't think we actually have a bigger fuel tank than that, so... Let's see, a mammoth. 2k delta V. That probably nearly enough, I'd imagine. Let's try one more. I don't like having this many of these things stacked on top of each other. I do think one of the things we should research early on with the science from this is bigger fuel tanks, because I'm starting to notice they're becoming a problem. Larger ones are less flexible, they are more weight efficient kind of thing, they are better. It is better to have one large fuel tank rather than lots of little ones glued together like this. It's the sort of thing that induces wobble, which you really don't want most of the time. But we might have to make do with it. In theory, this is good to go. I do not know quite how it's going to perform. That's going to be interesting to see, but... yes, so our crew. We have a pilot. We do need scientists. I don't know why it's taken them out. I should check how many the lab needs to operate, actually, because we may even have to upgrade our thing now. Oh, crew required 3. Okay, we actually do need another scientist. So, we're going to save quickly. I'm going to upgrade after much procrastination, because we didn't need it until now. We're going to upgrade our astronaut complex. And we're going to hire another scientist for this mission. So, it is a little expensive, but we have almost 3 million. We can afford it. And it'll cost us 100,000 for our next one. This is why we make use of things like the space jank. What are our 2 options? It's between Jedri and Franbin. Well, Franbin's a little bit braver. We'll take Franbin. There really wasn't much in it between those 2. Of course, space programs, we take the best. Right, Franbin, welcome to the team. Get in the lab. Right. I think that's everything we need. We have loads of experiments. We have the ground station. We can definitely still get outside of the door. Should be able to. If not, we can always get out of that airlock. You know what? I'm going to clear that airlock just in case. I'm just going to manually radially attach 2 of these at a time and make sure we can definitely get out of that door. We need to be able to get out of one of them. And if we leave those 2 clear, that leaves the door clear. Okay. I think we're good to go. I don't know quite where we're putting it, but we will try and put it in a biome we've not been to before. We do have new science experiments to bring out there, but ideally we would like to be... God, sorry, pardon me, this flipping cough. Ideally we would like to be somewhere we have not been before, so we can gather as much data as we can. That is the point of this mission. The idea will be we'll probably leave this to gather science for another mission while we're out in space, or maybe do another deep space mission that lasts a year or 2, and then the lab should have made us plenty of science by the time we get back. We'll finish up with whatever the mission is. Right. Our Kerbals, cupola. Yeah, okay, we just have to land on Minmus. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh boy, here we go. Lift off. Yeah, and again, despite its... well, we're launching a little base basically perched on top of a rocket. It does seem to be actually working. Which will allow MechJib to deploy solar panels and antennas on this one once we get to space. Local control, that's fine. Don't need anything too sophisticated with this one. In theory, as long as we have clear line of sight to Kerbin, I think at 5 million meters... No, okay, maybe we can't reach it. Okay, we may actually need a relay specifically to talk to it. We're going to say at 5 million we should be able to talk to base, but perhaps not. But, oh well, if we have to design a relay to talk to it, that's fine. That'd be cool. Expand our relay network, keep increasing its reliability. We'll put it into maybe 2 of them. Maybe have one of them in polar orbit around Minmus and one that's not polar. One that's horizontal, perhaps. We'll see on that one. But it does appear to be okay. Usually as long as you have sufficient control over your rocket, they could be a little bit jankily shaped and you'll get away with it. And the fairly high thrust of that and the decent gimbal is helping. I believe this is meant to be something like the bottom stage of the space launch system that NASA's working on. Because I believe these are 4 of the space shuttle engines just bolted onto the same body. For those who don't know the space launch system, it's NASA's kind of current work-in-progress one. I believe it's going to be used for the new moon landings. Or moon missions, at least. And the idea of it is it's reusing a bunch of space shuttle technology. So the solid rockets on the side are the same rockets. The fuel tank is the same orange fuel tank, but they've put 4 of the space shuttle engines on the bottom of it. That kind of idea. Oh, shoot. Oh, have we killed it by doing that? Oh, can you recover it? Oh, it can. Oh, good work, MechJib. Right. Okay. That was my fault. I didn't think of that. Actually, allow it to go all the way to stage 0 if it has to, but it shouldn't have to. We should still be okay, but it might be a little bit tighter now. Because that was not what we were supposed to be doing there. This is already a tiny bit tight on fuel, but landing doesn't take much, so we should be okay. We don't need to come back yet. If we're going to recover the crew from Minmus, they're going to need their own rocket. It would have been probably prohibitively expensive to design both into the same craft. I'm starting to think we could do with converting the old Space Jank design, or old Space Camp, into maybe a sort of crew bus. Like a somewhat reusable one, considering it can land a very large amount of Kerbals in one go. Perhaps giving it some improved engines, landing legs, and turning it into like a general purpose crew lander and mover. That could be a possible future endeavour that could be quite fun. Okay, so while we slightly screwed up that bit of the burn, our actual orbital insertion burn's very small. So yeah, we might be okay. Extended the antenna? No, it's not. Why haven't you extended that antenna? Is that something to do with is that something to do with ComNet or whatever it's called? ComNet definitely makes for an interesting experience with connections, I'll say that much. Right, I believe, yep, we are actually relaying off of the Ranger relay by the look of it. Interesting. Not the transit network, guys? Really? Okay. But yes, we have signal. At the moment, we can talk to base. Yeah, again, if we can't reach base from Minmus, we will have to build a relay because we need to be able to talk to ground control to send data back. But we can do a lot of the mission on our own. The other thing the station will need, or the other reason we'll need a relay is because of the ground station. That will also need to be able to talk to base, although I guess their antennas are more powerful than ours. Because I'm pretty sure we've had one operating on Minmus before, right? That it was able to send data back. Guess theirs get a better signal than ours. Right. Minmus. You say unknown object. We got a That was weird. Did you see that? I sworn that said unknown object. If we got an asteroid orbiting really close or something, we'll keep an eye out when we get closer. Hoffman transfer, trying to remember the name of the flipping node. Nearly hitting the end of our first episode, but we'll, like I say, I'll do this as a bit of a multi-part. I'll just start the next one right in the middle of it. Again, the original plan was to do it by mission, but YouTube scheduling, you know how it is. I've only got so long 70 days in a week to record, so. Oh, science data. Yes, we should grab some telescope observations. Above the influence of atmospheric turbulence, the telescope is capable of reaching much more consistently high resolutions in a wild field of view than possible from the ground. Until you get orders from the Kerbal Astrological Society, use the time to split a few double stars, which you hadn't got yet. Splits, is that the right word for it? Oh, well. We'll transmit data to the ground while we're here. And the other thing we can do is process the data. We can start manually gathering data for things we've already got all the regular data for, and we can load them into the lab as data, and we can start processing even as well. Oh, we can scan asteroids with it. That's interesting. Okay. I didn't know we could do that with that. Okay. We can use that on our future asteroid landing missions. We have scientists on board, right? We should be able to scrub this. So, materials bay. Are we missing some experiments, or is that all of them? Oh, well, we missed a barometer. Oh, are you kidding me? We missed the barometer. Oh, well. That's a pain. So 85 data out of 1500. I have a lot more once we get to the ground. Yeah, that's the other one we can do, actually. We should be able to do the hydroponics experiment as well, I believe, because that's another one I think we could scrub. So if we run the hydroponics experiment, open the doors. So turn the cross lights on. Observe plant growth. Plants grow very slowly, if at all. It may be far too soon for any noteworthy results to appear. That might just be because we're so close to the ground. I believe from here we can do... Oh, we won't be able to do it just yet because we're time warping. I believe we can do right-click, clean experiments. While we're doing our burn, the scientists can clean out the lab, clean out the hydroponics and whatnot. Plant some new seeds. Or whatever it is they're doing out there. But yes, this is another thing where we can transmit some of the data, and then we can also, even once we've transmitted it, we can then still put it in the lab. Okay, those are kind of loud. Not gonna lie. But they do seem to be working. Yeah, we just straight up forgot a barometer. How did we manage that? Oh well. Let's hope we do have enough field of land once we get there. It's looking a little tighter than I'd expected, but Didn't quite expect the transfer burn to use that much. Oh, brief encounter with the moon getting in the way. This might be capable of a moon landing, but it's not tested for it. It might actually be better than some of our previous moon landers because it's very wide. Yeah, I think that's the... if you remember me mentioning a little while back that mech just switching stages midway is something that throws off its maneuvers pretty often. Fine-tune closest approach to target, 100. And that is one of the things that tends to do it. 33. Yeah, I know, it's not too close. It's just what we're dealing with. We'll also run some of these experiments again once we're high above Kerbal. And again, put the data in the lab to process. We haven't even got a mystery goo container. What was I doing when I was putting these experiments on? God dang it. It's fine. We've got the ground station. I've definitely goofed up a bit with this one, but oh well. I tell you what, we'll leave that there for this episode. And next time, we'll get back to you with the, well, continuation of our Minmus mission. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Again, if you want to help the channel, I always say, check out the links in the description. It's links to some games that I actually made myself. You might like them. And all the normal subscribe, comment stuff always helps as well, if you're feeling very generous. Right, see you guys all again next time, if you can even hear me over this. Goodbye.